Welcome to Lantern Light. There is nothing you need to remember and nothing you need to keep track of. You may drift in and out of the words. The story will remain quiet beside you. You're standing at the entrance to a narrow lane in the Plaka district of Athens, the oldest part of the city, tucked beneath the great rock of the Acropolis. It is late evening now, deep into summer, and the loudest hours of the day have passed. The air has begun to soften, and the stone beneath your feet still holds the memory of afternoon warmth. This is sleep through history. There is no pressure here, and nothing you need to keep track of. You can drift whenever you wish, and you do not need to follow every word. For now, you are simply here, at the threshold of a quiet place, and the evening is doing what it has always done. The lane is paved with limestone worn smooth by centuries of footsteps. The walls rise close on either side, pale in the fading light, their surfaces uneven and textured. You can still feel a faint warmth radiating from the stone as you brush your fingertips along it. The lane curves gently to the left, and as you follow it, the space opens before you into a small courtyard. Not grand, not a monument, simply a place where an ordinary household ends its day. The courtyard is roughly square, perhaps a dozen steps from one side to the other. The walls that surround it are modest, the height of two people built from the same pale limestone that paves the ground. There is a wooden table near the center, its surface worn smooth and gray with age, and on the table a clay lamp is burning. It is a simple object, a shallow vessel no larger than your palm, pinched at one end to hold the wick. It is filled with olive oil, and the wick draws a small, steady flame that flickers gently in the stillness. This kind of lamp has been made and used in Athens for more than 2,000 years. The shape has not changed. The purpose has not changed. The flame burns now as it has always burned. You step into the courtyard, and at its edge, the amber light from the lamp reaches across the table and touches the wall behind it, casting a soft, wavering glow onto the stone. The flame is small, but it is enough. It holds the darkness back without effort, without urgency. Above the roofline, you can see the silhouette of the Acropolis. The great rock rises dark against the sky, and upon it, the outline of the temples stands clear and still. For the people who have lived in these lanes, that outline has simply always been there, as ordinary as the hillside, as permanent as the stone beneath their feet. It does not demand attention, it simply is. The sky is moving from deep blue toward true night. The first stars are beginning to show, faint and distant, appearing one at a time in the deepening color. The air is warm but cooling now, and there is just enough movement in it to feel like a breath against your bare arms. You notice the smell of oregano drifting in from somewhere close. Perhaps a windowsill, perhaps a pot left near a doorway. The scent is dry and warm, mixed with a faint trace of thyme and the clean smell of olive oil burning in the lamp. The stone walls are releasing the heat they gathered during the day, slowly, gently back into the evening air. There is a bench beside the table built into the wall. On it, a linen cloth has been folded and set down. The weave is rough beneath your fingers when you touch it, the fabric soft with age and use. You move toward the bench and lower yourself onto the stone. It is cool now and solid, and it holds you without movement. You rest your hands on your lap and look at the lamp. The flame continues its small dance, drawing oil through the wick, casting light that does not reach far but does not waver. The flame holds and the night continues. In the distance, you hear a footstep on stone, just one. It does not come closer. It does not return. Somewhere beyond the courtyard, someone is walking through the lanes, but they are not coming here. The sound fades and the silence settles back into place. Nothing requires your attention. Nothing is about to happen. The evening is already doing what evenings here have always done, cooling slowly, quieting completely, letting the stars come forward one by one into the vast and gentle dark. You lean back against the wall and let your gaze rest on the lamp. The flame flickers. The oil feeds it without sound. The wick glows at its tip, a single point of warmth in the growing night. Above you, the sky deepens further. More stars appear. The Acropolis stands silent on its rock. The courtyard holds you as it has held others, as it will hold the night. The flame holds, and the night continues. You move across the courtyard toward the bench, your steps slow and certain on the smooth stone. The bench waits against the wall, its surface worn by years of use, until the limestone feels more like fabric than rock. It is broad enough to hold you comfortably, and when you settle onto it, you feel the slight coolness of the stone through the cloth you wear, a coolness that is not sharp, but gentle. A quiet contrast to the warmth the air still holds. You're facing the lamp now. The wooden table stands close enough that you could reach forward and rest your hand beside it without stretching. The flame is almost exactly at eye level, a small point of amber light that hardly moves at all. You can look at it directly without discomfort. It does not demand your attention, but it holds it easily, the way water holds light. The lamp itself is a simple thing. Its body is terracotta, no larger than a cupped hand, shaped with care and fired until it took on the warm ochre color of attic clay. The surface is smooth, though not polished, and the lip at the front extends just enough to cradle the wick. The wick is a twisted thread of plant fiber, dark where it meets the oil, pale where it rises into flame. It stands upright, feeding the small fire it holds at its tip. The oil that surrounds it is olive oil, golden and clear, burning with almost no smoke at all. What rises from the flame is only warmth, a thread of it lifting into the air above and dispersing before it reaches the stars. The flame itself is steady, small enough that you could shield it with your palm if the night grew restless. You let your gaze rest there, on the flame and the clay that holds it. There is nothing else that needs watching. Behind you, somewhere in the rooms that open onto the courtyard through the darkened doorway, you hear a sound. It is faint, almost at the edge of hearing. Water moving, perhaps, or a vessel being set down on stone. It comes once, soft and brief, and then the quiet returns. The sound does not break the stillness. It deepens it the way a single drop deepens the surface of a pool. The cricket begins again. You hear it in the herbs near the wall, the same patient rhythm you heard before. It does not hurry. It does not for long. It simply continues, a small voice in the dry oregano, part of the texture of the night. The air begins to move, though it is not quite a breeze. It is more like an exchange, a slow conversation between the warmth held low in the stone and the coolness gathering in the open sky above. The courtyard has stored the heat of the day, and now it releases that heat in long, invisible breaths. You feel it against your arms, against the side of your face. It is neither cool nor warm, but the movement itself, the gentleness of it, settles something inside you. The flame reads this movement. You watch as it leans very slightly to one side, a tilt so small you might imagine it. Then it steadies. Then it leans again, just a breath, and holds. It is not struggling. It is simply responding, the way a leaf responds to wind, the way breath responds to thought. The flame holds, and the night continues. On the bench beside you, there is a piece of cloth. You notice it now, folded into a neat rectangle, its edges aligned with care. The cloth is linen, undyed, the color of dry grass or wheat in late summer. Even in the lamplight, you can see the weave of it, the fine threads crossing and recrossing in their patient pattern. It is resting there, neither waiting nor forgotten. It asks nothing of you. It is simply there, woven and folded and still. You let your hand rest near it, not touching, just near. The wood of the bench is smooth beneath your palm. The courtyard around you has stopped settling. You notice this without thinking it through. The walls are already still. They have been still for a long time, long before you arrived, and they will be still long after. The table is already still. The lamp has found its rhythm, the small, steady burn that it will hold as long as the oil lasts. You have found the bench, and the bench has found you. Everything is already in its place. There is nothing left to arrange, nothing left to prepare. The night is here, and you are here, and the flame is burning between you and the stars. You breathe in, and the air carries the scent of oregano, faint and dry. You breathe out, and the flame continues. The cricket continues. The warmth stored in the stone continues its slow release into the cooling air. You do not need to follow any of it. You do not need to name it. It is all happening without effort. The way the sky darkens, the way the stars grow brighter as your eyes rest and soften. The flame holds, and the night continues. You let your shoulders drop. You let the stone hold your weight. You let the lamplight rest on your hands, on the cloth beside you, on the table and the walls and the herbs in their quiet corner. The Acropolis rises somewhere beyond the edge of the courtyard, a dark shape against a darker sky. But you do not look for it now. You look only at the flame, or you look at nothing, and both are the same. The air moves again, slow and soft. The flame leans, steadies, leans again. The cricket offers its small song. The warmth rises. The coolness descends. Everything meets in the middle, here where you're sitting, where the night is gentle and the light is enough. You rest on the stone bench, and the courtyard settles around you with the quietness of a place that knows how to hold the evening. The lamp continues its steady work on the table before you, the flame small and amber, casting its gentle warmth onto the limestone wall behind it. The light does not reach far, but it does not need to. It illuminates what is near, and that is enough. The air moves across your face, cooler now than it was when you first arrived, though the stone at your back still holds the warmth of the day. You can feel both at once, the cooling breath at your skin and the stored heat beneath your shoulders. The courtyard is teaching you something about time, about how warmth lingers and how coolness arrives so gently that you cannot name the moment it began. Above you, the sky has deepened. The rectangle of open air framed by the courtyard walls is no longer the soft, dusky blue it was earlier. Now it is something richer, something closer to black, though not quite that either. It is the particular blue-black of a summer night far from too much light, a color that exists only when the air is clear and the stars are beginning their work. And the stars are becoming visible now, not one at a time as they did before, but in clusters. Whole regions of the sky reveal themselves as your eyes adjust to the deepening dark. You do not need to know their names to feel their presence. They are there, and they have been there, and they will continue long past this evening. In a city like Athens, long ago, there were no street lamps as we understand them now. The night was lit by oil lamps in doorways, by moonlight when the moon was present, and by the stars themselves. Ancient Athenians read the sky as a kind of slow, reliable calendar, marking the seasons by what rose and set overhead. Summer evenings like this one were marked by certain shapes: the scorpion climbing in the south, the broad, pale path of the Milky Way crossing high above. You do not need to find those shapes now. You only need to know they are there, part of the slowness above you. Your gaze drifts back down to the lamp. The flame holds, and the night continues. The oil level in the shallow clay dish is almost imperceptibly lower than it was when you first sat down. You would not see the change if you looked for it directly, but somewhere in the back of your awareness, you understand that this is how time passes here. Not in increments that can be counted or measured from moment to moment, but in the slow consumption of something that was full and is becoming very gradually less full. The flame does not know this. The flame simply burns, drawing what it needs, giving its light in return. The cricket you heard earlier is still present, somewhere among the dry herbs near the courtyard's edge. Its sound is steady, rhythmic, part of the texture of the evening rather than an interruption of it. You do not listen to it so much as rest inside it, the way you rest inside the warmth and the dark and the faint scent of oregano drifting on the air. The limestone walls around you were built and rebuilt over many centuries. The rock beneath them and the lanes beyond them follow paths that have been walked since the classical period and before. The bench where you sit, the table before you, the courtyard itself, these forms recur across Athenian domestic archaeology. A person sitting in a courtyard like this one, watching a lamp on a warm evening, is doing something that has been done in this place for a very long time. You are not separate from that history. You are simply another quiet presence in a long line of quiet presences, resting as the stars appear. The stone is warm at your back. The air is cooler at your face. The lamp is amber. The sky is dark. The cricket is steady. These are not new things. They are the same things, returning. Your breathing has slowed without you deciding to slow it. The courtyard breathes with you, or perhaps you breathe with the courtyard. The flame moves slightly, a small wavering at its tip, responding to some current of air too faint for you to feel. The light on the wall shifts with it, a gentle pulse, a reminder that even stillness contains movement if the movement is slow enough and soft enough. Above, more stars. The sky is thick with them now, layered and deep, and you let your eyes rest there for a moment, not focusing on any single point, but allowing the whole field of light to wash over you. It is restful to look at something so vast and so far away. It asks nothing of you. It simply is. The scent of the burning olive oil is faint but clean, mingling with the dry herbal notes carried on the air. The textures around you are familiar now. The smoothness of the stone beneath your fingertips, the roughness of the woven linen folded somewhere nearby, the grain of the wooden table catching the lamplight. You do not need to reach for them. You know they are there. The flame holds and the night continues. Your eyelids are heavy now, not with effort, but with the gentle weight of evening, of warmth leaving and coolness arriving, of light that asks nothing and darkness that welcomes. You blink and the stars blur softly. You blink again and they steady, and then you let your eyes close, and the warmth of the lamp is still there behind your lids, a soft amber glow that does not disappear just because you are no longer looking. The courtyard remains. The stone remains. The flame remains. And you remain resting in the deep quiet of a summer night in a place where time is measured by the slow burning of oil and the slow turning of stars, and where nothing needs to happen except this: the continuation of warmth, the arrival of dark, and the steady holding of a small flame that has no urgency and no end in sight. Only this, only now, only rest. The flame is still burning. It has been burning all this time, small and amber, steady in the lamp on the table before you. The wick rests in the oil just as it has, and the oil feeds the flame without interruption, and the light continues. The flame holds, and the night continues. The wall behind the lamp is still there, holding the lamplight on its surface. The stone is pale limestone, worn smooth by many summers, and the warmth of the flame rests against it in soft amber tones that do not change. The courtyard around you is the same courtyard, bounded by the same walls, open to the same sky. Nothing here has moved, because nothing here moves in haste. The linen cloth is still folded on the bench beside you. You can feel its edge, if you wish, the rough weave cool against your fingertips, but you do not need to reach for it. It is simply there, as it has been. The stars above are brighter now, not because they have changed, but because your eyes have grown more accustomed to the softness of the light. They fill the deepening sky in patterns that have always been there. The Acropolis rises somewhere beyond the roofline, a presence you cannot see from here, but know is there, as it has always been there. The air is warm. It carries the scent of dry oregano and thyme, faint and familiar, a trace of olive oil from the lamp burning cleanly, the warmth of limestone releasing the sun it held all day slowly into the quiet dark. The flame does not flicker now. The wick has found its steadiest position in the oil, and the air around it is barely moving. The light it casts on the wall is soft and even, a small pool of amber that rests where it has been resting. You let your attention move downward gently from the stars overhead to the walls of the courtyard, from the walls to the lamp on the table, from the lamp to the wooden surface beneath it, grainy and solid, from the table to your own hands, resting where they rest. Your hands are heavy. Perhaps they rest on your knees, or in your lap, or flat against the linen cloth beside you. There is weight in them, a gentle weight that asks for nothing. There is weight in your arms as well, a softness settling through your shoulders and your elbows and your wrists. The bench beneath you is broad and solid. It holds you as it has been holding you. The stone is cool now, pleasant against the warmth of the evening. It does not shift. The cricket is still singing somewhere in the dry herbs at the courtyard's edge. One voice, distant, unhurried. The sound rises and falls in a rhythm that has no beginning and no end. The flame is small. You can see it even now, even as your eyes grow heavier. The light softens at the edges of your vision, becoming a warm smear of amber, a glow that does not demand focus. The wall behind it is still there, pale and steady. You do not need to keep your eyes open to know the lamp is burning. You do not need to see the flame to feel its warmth in the air, to know the light is still resting against the limestone. The courtyard is still here. The walls are still here. The bench is still beneath you, holding your weight without effort. The air moves barely, just enough to touch your arms, your face, a breath of warmth carrying the scent of time and stone. The movement is so slight it could be mistaken for stillness. The flame holds. Your hands are resting. Your arms are resting. The weight in them is soft and welcome, a heaviness that spreads through your shoulders and settles into the bench beneath you. There is nothing you need to hold. The stars are there, above the courtyard, above the roof line, scattered thick across the sky. They have been there all along. They will be there when the lamp has burned lower, when the oil has fed the flame until morning, when the summer has turned cool and the seasons have turned again. The Acropolis is still there, beyond your sight, but steady in its place, as it has been for longer than memory. The city around it is settling into night, footsteps fading on distant stone lanes, voices gone to rest. The courtyard holds only this lamp, this bench, this warmth, this quiet. The flame does not flicker. The wick is steady in the oil. The light reaches the wall in soft amber tones and rests there unchanging. The air does not stir enough to trouble it. Your eyes are heavy. The lamp is still visible through half-closed lids, a warm glow, a suggestion of light against the courtyard's deepening dark. You do not need to see it clearly. It is there. It has always been there. The linen cloth is folded beside you. The table holds the lamp. The bench holds you. The walls hold the courtyard. The night holds everything, gently, without effort. The cricket sings. The flame burns. The stars are scattered overhead. The air is warm and carries time. Nothing here changes because nothing here has need to change. The flame holds. You are here in the courtyard, breathing softly, and the stone beneath you holds your weight without effort. The lamp is still burning on the table, its amber light so gentle now that it seems less like light and more like warmth made visible. The flame holds, and the night continues. Your body rests against the limestone, and the limestone asks nothing of you. The air moves across your skin, warm and slow, carrying with it the scent of oregano and thyme, the faint trace of olive oil burning clean and low. You do not need to notice these things, but they are here, steady and soft like your own breathing. The stars are above you, thick and bright, and the Acropolis rises dark against them. You have seen it already, and it is still there, silent and familiar. The courtyard holds you the way it has held others before, the way it will hold the night after you have drifted into sleep. Your breath moves in and out, slow and even, like the flame. In, and the warmth settles deeper. Out, and the weight becomes softer. There is nothing to do with your breath except let it continue. Let it rise and fall without thought or effort. The linen cloth is still folded nearby. The wooden table still holds the lamp. The cricket may still be sounding somewhere in the dry herbs, or it may have stopped. Either way, the quiet holds. You do not need to open your eyes to know that the flame is still burning. You can feel its warmth in the air, in the way the darkness is not quite complete, in the way the wall beside you holds just a touch of amber glow. Your hands rest where they have settled, and they are warm and heavy. Your shoulders rest against the stone, and the stone is cool and smooth and older than memory. The air touches your skin, and the air asks nothing, expects nothing, simply continues to move in its slow and gentle rhythm. Somewhere beyond the courtyard, the city is sleeping. Somewhere beyond the courtyard, the night stretches wide and soft. But here, in this small space, there is only the lamp and the stone and the warmth and the breath. In, and the light wavers just slightly. Out, and the warmth spreads a little deeper. Your body knows how to rest. Your breath knows how to slow. You do not need to guide it, or think about it, or hold it in your awareness. The flame holds, and the night continues. The stars are still there above the courtyard. The limestone is still cool beneath you. The scent of oregano is still soft on the air. These things do not need you to notice them to be true. Your eyelids are heavy, or perhaps they have already closed. It does not matter. The darkness is the same either way, soft and full and safe. The lamp is still burning. The oil will last a little longer. The flame will continue its slow and steady rhythm, flickering just enough to remind you that warmth is still here, that light is still here, that the courtyard still holds you in its ancient and unhurried embrace. Your breath, slow and even, the warmth, soft and spreading, the weight, gentle and complete. The night is wide and open above you. The stone is solid beneath you. The flame gives its small amber light to the wall, to the air, to the quiet that surrounds you and fills you and asks nothing at all. And you rest, and the lamp burns, and the night continues.